So I'm Vary Grant, I'm an architect and I have a practice called Paper Igloo, and I designed this house for my parents over a 10-year period. I think the main thing for us is the view, really. It's a big panoramic view of Bentee and the surrounding hillside, and I just wanted to make sure that every room had a connection to that view. So every space had some special window that faced the view and gave you a shot of the mountain. I'm really proud of the execution, I think, of the details. It was hard to come up with details that I thought were architecturally satisfying, but that I knew that my dad could build, having never built anything like this before. So that was a big challenge, but I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I just wanted to keep a really simple palette of wood and white painted plaster. So a lot of timber on the floors and the window surrounds and so on, and the timber cladding. Just my parents really like kind of that natural feel of wood, so that was important. And then just to offset that, the kind of white walls and white ceilings. Yeah, a little bit of fun. I think it's always important in an architectural project to have a little bit of fun and inject a bit of whimsy into the design. So again, generally symmetrical, but then there's the odd thing that's off a little bit to kind of add interest, I suppose, visual interest.
I'm Anna Karczewska-Słowikowska. I was wandering around the village because I wanted to stay here in the borders, which I love the borders. And I came across this plot of land with this old house on it, or 1950s house, which wasn't very exciting, but it had potential. And I saw the land here, and I'm a land person and love trees, and that was it. It's the light, it's the trees specifically. There's a burn down by the side, so you hear the water. And I just wanted to sort of be in the middle of this area here with glass all around me so I could take in the animals. We have deer wandering around, we have birds, we have pheasants. Ideal. The brief to Matthew, when we were discussing what I wanted, there was one word that came up. I wanted something elegant. And I think that's what I've got. I've got an elegant house that fits in with the landscape. It's almost like a Heidi house, if you like. I don't know whether you've seen the film Heidi, but it goes up into the mountains in this wooden, and that's the sort of house I wanted. I saw Heidi as a child with my mother, and my children always refer to this as my Heidi house, if that makes sense. Clean lines, modern. And it was a way of getting away from the old and having something new. And at my age, I have realised about architecture. I've always loved architecture and other people's houses, but I realise now that you can make it yourself, and be creative. And I'd do it again, if I could. Definitely do it again. Yeah, build this, something like this, or something maybe slightly different, but I'm happy here, very happy. Having the wood inside, having taken the outside and bringing this wood into the building, I think was be my biggest contribution. I wouldn't have liked that not to have been here and just had it all plain. I'm hoping to maybe paint the odd wall, but I'm not allowed to just yet.
My name is Donna Burrell. I am Director of Investment and Regeneration for Maryhill Housing Association. Firstly, we wanted to engage and consult and develop the project with the community. We had developed a successful model of community involvement in regeneration through the work that we had done in Maryhill, and we were very keen to make sure that that was replicated in the Botany. For Maryhill, it was an interesting time because we also, at that time, we wanted to make sure that the next new build development that we undertook, we wanted to do it in a traditional way with an architect taking the design forward from scratch, but with Maryhill Housing Association and the end users very firmly involved in that process. We think that it resulted in a better quality product. It also enabled Maryhill Housing Association to make decisions about how the houses would look, the internal layouts, the external elevations. because of the complexities of the site. We made sure that we weren't making those decisions in isolation. We were making them with the people who were eventually going to end up living there. And for us, that's a measure or a mark of success.
My name's Johnny Tonieri. I'm one of the directors in Elder and Cannon. We had a defined site which was small compared to the much wider clear ground that we're bringing these homes into, and therefore having to design something which could stand by itself for maybe some time awaiting the next phase of development, but would still be able to provide the homes that we're hoping the people who are going to be moving into were going to be able to enjoy and live in without feeling that they were left out by themselves for too long. In effect, it was trying to make a place, but while designing one side of a street with the other side still left to be developed at a later time. The consultation process in this was very engaged and very helpful for that, but also challenging in some ways. What we had was 35 families who were all designated and were earmarked for the homes that we were putting onto the site, and they all attended the workshops that we had every 2 weeks to design the buildings, and a lot of discussions and a lot of active engagement came out of that. I think there's a craft to the architecture that Malcolm likes, and that's about material choices, it's about the attention to detail, and it's about simplicity that you try to refine things down to look for the essence of what's important about the homes.